Vinod Chopra Films and Rajkumar Hirani presents Three Idiots. Namaste, I'm Grishma and I welcome you to the IndiCineGlitz channel. This heartwarming movie begins with two best friends, Farhan and Raju, who get a call from their other friend Chatur that their long-lost friend named Rancho, whom they have been searching for years, has finally been found. Chatur asks them to come to their engineering college where they all had studied together. Hearing this, Farhan and Raju rush there to meet Rancho but only find Chatur. Chatur first brags about himself by showing them pictures of his multi-million bungalow and his latest Mercedes. He then shows them the date 5 September scratched on the wall and reminds them of a bet he made with Rancho 10 years ago that they would meet at the same place exactly 10 years later to see who among them got most successful in life. He adds that he has specially come to take them both to Shimla to meet Rancho there, just to see for themselves what Rancho has achieved in his life compared to him. And so, they all set out for Shimla to meet Rancho. He had miraculously disappeared after their graduation day and had not left his address or any of his contacts. That's why they were searching for him and finally found him today, desperate to meet his best friend after such a long time. Farhan gets lost in the past when he first came to college. Farhan had come to the prestigious Imperial College of Engineering to fulfill his middle-class parents' dreams and expectations of becoming an engineer. He meets his first roommate, the ever-apprehensive Raju Rastogi, and the second, Ranchordas Chanchar, nicknamed Rancho, when their college seniors were ragging the first years, who are asked to take off their clothes and salute. All the first years are obeying the orders, but Rancho runs away and hides in his room. An angry senior then threatens him to urinate at his doorstep if it doesn't come out. But despite threats, when Rancho doesn't come out, he starts urinating on his door, only to receive a severe electric shock, causing him pain because Rancho used the physics of passing an electric current through salt water using just a spoon to deliver an electric shock. In the next scene, we meet the director of the college, Dr. Viru Sahasrabuddhe, nicknamed Virus by the students, who is a very competitive, disciplined, rule-abiding and highly intelligent person. He firmly believes that life is nothing but competition, where only winning matters and only the best survives. He inculcates the mantra to always be ahead in the competition with hard work and determination to achieve excellence. He has been gifted a space pen used by astronauts as a symbol of excellence by his college director, which he wants to pass on to a student who is equally intelligent and extraordinary as him. But to date, he has not found any such student. But Rancho is puzzled and has a question for the college director that instead of spending tons of money on a space pen, why don't they use a simple pencil? Which leaves the director speechless. And that's what defines the knowledge-hungry Rancho, who has a lots of questions to ask his professors. Frustrated with him, they don't let Rancho sit in their class for long and always throw him out. However, Rancho is fond of machines and is always busy experimenting with them. While Raju dislikes Rancho due to his strange behavior and habit of always questioning, Farhan finds him intriguing and unique in his own way. One day, a student named Joy Lobo requests the director to grant him an extension of a few days to submit his final year semester project, which he failed to complete due to his father's ill health. Joy's project was a small helicopter on which he had mounted a wireless camera. He wanted a few more days to make it operational, but the director refuses to give him any extension, considering it impractical and a waste of time, due to which Joy will fail his graduation. Disappointed, Joy throws his project in the trash, but Rancho, impressed by Joy's idea, picks it up from the trash and decides to complete it himself for Joy. A few days later, when he succeeds, he drives the helicopter to Joy's window to show him his completed project, only to find that he has committed suicide by hanging himself. Joy's father is devastated by the death of his only son. Enraged, Rancho confronts the director and points out the flaws in the education system, including the fact that India has one of the highest student suicide rate due to the deadly competition, which is focused solely on scoring the highest marks in the exams or just moving to America or Europe to get high-paying jobs. And due to this constant stress and pressure to stay ahead in the competition, many Joys commit suicide for which he holds the director and the system accountable. Angry director drags Rancho into the classroom and asks him to demonstrate his flawless teaching methods in comparison to the college's highly qualified professors. Rancho then writes some words from the book on the board and asks students to explain their meaning in 30 seconds. All the students hastily start looking for its meaning in the books, but no one is able to even understand the words, let alone explaining them. Rancho then makes students realize that when he asks the question, they all become competitive rather than eager to learn something new. And it doesn't matter how well they perform in such rote learning competition, they would always be considered as well-trained and not well-educated. He addresses the director that Joy was a genius whose project was more practical than the bookish terms, but was rejected by the director, forcing him to return to the competition, scraping his innovative idea that may have future potential. He then suggests an education system in which the acquisition of knowledge should be exciting and enjoyable rather than boring and monotonous, which emphasizes on being well educated. He says that only teachers know best what to teach, but he can train them in how to teach subject, and those words are not any scientific terms but just the names of his friends Farhan and Raju. The director is enraged by Rancho's mockery and humiliation, and to prevent his views from influencing the students, he summons Farhan and Raju and asks them to stay away from Rancho by making them aware of their family's financial difficulties. He also informs their parents to keep them away from Rancho's bad company. Their angry parents then scolds them to focus on their studies and think about the future instead of wasting time. Scared Raju then changes his room with Chatur, but Farhan and Rancho know that the director is trying to break them up. Therefore, to convince Raju, they put a funny twist in Chatur's annual day speech, which he simply wrote without understanding its meaning, making him a laughingstock in front of everyone. Hurt, Chatur then confronts Rancho and challenges him that he will prove him wrong by becoming successful in life by adopting the same methods he has been mocking. Rancho tries to advise him that be capable rather than chasing success, but Chatur now makes fun of his methods and scrapes the date of 5 September on the wall and asks him to meet at the same place after 10 years to see who got more successful in life. Meanwhile, Rancho meets the director's daughter Pia, who is studying medicine and is angry with Rancho for troubling her father. But one day, Raju's father's health becomes critical and Rancho, with Pia's help, gets him admitted to the hospital, saving his life. Realizing his mistake, an ashamed Raju apologizes to Rancho and returns to his room. Few days later, when the exam results are announced, the director and Chatur are shocked as Rancho tops the exam. Back in the present day, they all reach Shimla, where they don't have much trouble finding Ranchhod Das Chanchad's house, as he happens to be the son of a rich industrialist. But they come to know that the person named Ranchhod Das Chanchad is not a Rancho but a completely different person. To solve this mystery, they threaten him to reveal the truth or he will get exposed. Ranchhod then reveals that he is the real Ranchhod Das Chanchad, and their best friend, whom they are looking for, is his gardener's son Chote, who was very eager to learn since his childhood. But being an orphan, he used to do household chores, and Ranchhod used to take advantage of him by making him do his homework and pass the exams. Ranchhod's father, who was illiterate, wanted his son to become an engineer, but seeing the genius Chote, he orders him to bring an engineering degree in the name of his son Ranchhod Das Chanchad, but only on the condition that he will not meet or keep in touch with anyone from that college afterward. And this was the reason why Chote used to study with them, pretending to be Ranchhod Das Chanchad. Ranchhod then gives them his address, after which they leave for Ladakh. In the meantime, Chatur tells them about a scientist named Phungsuk Wangdu, who has several patents to his name and is the best in his field. Chatur has been chasing him for years, and he will hit the jackpot if Phungsuk Wangdu signs a deal with him. Ignoring his ranting, Farhan returns to the past when the director was publicly mocking final year students Farhan and Raju that they would never get jobs due to their poor performance in exams. Rancho then explains to Farhan that the reason for his poor performance is his passion for wildlife photography more than engineering, and Raju's is that he constantly lives in fear of failing. But Rancho always tops the exam because engineering is his passion. Farhan and Raju then challenge Rancho that if He confesses his love to Pia. Farhan will follow his passion and Raju will stop being afraid. Rancho accepts the challenge and reaches Pia's house, that is director's house. He expresses his feelings to Pia, which is mutual for both. But Raju gets caught by the director, who threatens to suspend Raju if he does not testify against Rancho in order to get him expelled from the college. Torn between family and friendship, Raju chooses the path of suicide and jumps from the window, but eventually survives after being admitted to the hospital, due to which the director has to cancel Raju's suspension. After a few days, Raju gets a well-paid job through on-campus placement and Rancho gives Farhan a letter from a professional photographer from Hungary who is impressed by Farhan's stunning photographs of animals and wants to hire him as an assistant. But Farhan's father is against it and warns him that he will know the cost of following his passion instead of getting a job when in a few years he'll see his friends earn well and settle down in life, but he will still be struggling. Farhan answers that he would rather be happy doing a low-paying job that he likes than be frustrated for the rest of his life in a job that he doesn't like. He doesn't care what people think, and all he wants is for his family to understand and trust him. Farhan's father finally understands his son and allows him to go to Hungary to pursue his passion. But the furious director wants Raju to fail and hence makes it difficult for him to pass the final year exam. But when Rancho and Farhan try to steal the exam paper to save Raju, the director catches them red-handed and expels them all from the college. Angered by this, Pia reveals the truth to the director that his eldest son, who aspired to be a writer, could not survive the burden of his father's expectations of him becoming an engineer, and whose sudden death was not an accident but a suicide. The director is shocked to hear this, but just then, Pia's elder sister Mona, who is pregnant, goes into labor, but they got stuck on the way because the entire city was flooded due to heavy rains. Pia, who was in the hospital, asks Rancho to deliver her sister's baby. Rancho and all his friends get busy with Mona's delivery, but then the power goes out and Mona gets too exhausted to push the baby out. Rancho then uses his intelligence to recover electricity from an inverter he built and uses a vacuum cleaner to make a vacuum cup machine to pull the baby out. And thus, with Pia's help, Rancho successfully delivers Mona's baby. Seeing this, the director finally reverses his stance and gives the space pen to his extraordinary and intelligent student, Rancho. A few days later, Rancho and all his batchmates pass the graduation, but a tearful Rancho quietly leaves the campus. And finally, Farhan, Raju and Chatur reach Ladakh, accompanied by Pia, who is still in love with Rancho and has eloped on her wedding day. According to the address, they reach a school where children are doing various types of scientific experiments. They finally spot Rancho, who is busy playing with kids. Rancho is happy to see Pia, Farhan, who is now renowned wildlife photographer and writer, and Raju, a researcher and blogger. But Chatur is there specifically to make fun of Rancho because as per him, he has become more successful in life than Rancho. He makes him sign a paper admitting his failure, but is shocked to see the director's space pen. He snatches the pen from him, saying that it belongs only to winners and not to losers like him. But when he sees the signature on the paper, he is shocked to the core, as Rancho is actually the great scientist Phunksuk Wangdu, whom he has been chasing for many years for contracts and who runs schools for children. And with this, the movie ends with Chatur still chasing Phunksuk Wangdu, that is, Rancho. So this was our favorite movie of the day. If you ask me what message I got from this movie, be capable to achieve a short success. Do tell us your opinion in the comment section and don't forget to like, share and subscribe our channel. Take care.